Okay, here is a phone call to Clifton Ramey. This will be his landline phone.
Hello, please leave a message after the tone.
Hi, this message is for Clifton. My name is Lisa Craven. I got your phone number from, well, actually, I got it off the internet. My purpose of calling is I'm actually doing a paper. I'm an investigative journalism student. I'm doing a paper on the Adam Walsh case. I've already spoke with Denis Bubb, and I've already spoke with Willis Morgan and several other people. I would like to speak with you about what you saw that night. So if you could please give me a call back when you can. My phone number is...
Hey, this is April Christmas. You're wanting to talk to my father, Homer Ramey.
Yes.
Okay, he lives across the street from me, but hold on a second. There is a book that just came out that has all that information in it, and I have a copy of it, but I have to find out where I put it.
Is it Frustrated Witness?
It might be.
Yeah, I talked to Willis, and so I'm actually working with Willis, and what I'm doing is I'm trying to get the interviews myself, I guess, so that I can do it for my paper, if he's willing to talk. I mean, if he's not, I don't understand. Yeah, I understand.
I'll give him your number and tell him what you're looking for.
That would be great, yeah, if you want. Did you get to write it down?
Yeah, no, I have it on my phone.
Okay. All right, yeah, if you just pass it.
I'll talk to him and, give him your number and see what he says.
Yeah, just let him know. I mean, I talked to Dennis the other day. It was just really quick, and like I said, what I'm trying to do is I'm putting together a thesis. It's for my class, and when you look at the case files, nothing was done properly, and obviously Willis's book is perfect for that. But I can't use Willis's.
Oh yeah, I know. I lived down there. We lived there during all of that, and I actually used to go over to that mall every day for lunch.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I worked over next to the mall in a doctor's office.
Oh wow.
And I would go over there every day for lunch because, they had a nice little food court, and it was right around the corner, and, I mean, it's just, it's amazing.
Were you there when that...
I mean, I watched the police department just screw the whole thing up.
Really? Were you working that day when it happened?
No, I was at home.
Gotcha, but you just remember...
We were open on weekends and stuff, but I was at home. But, I mean, like I said, I passed the police station and the mall every day on the way to work.
Oh, wow.
The way I came into Hollywood because we actually lived right across the Broward-Dade County line.
Yeah.
So instead of taking 441 up and across down Johnson Street, I went the back way, so I wasn't messing with all that stuff. But, yeah. It was just, I mean, all of a sudden you're trying to drive through there and the mall's closed down, and it was...
Oh, because of all the police activity, you mean?
Yeah, well, because they were supposedly investigating.
Right.
So they closed down Sears and all of that area.
Wow.
And when you would walk into the mall, the food court, and you walked out to go to any of the other stores, that one section of the mall was closed down.
Oh, wow, that would be crazy. Especially in that time when, the mall was, thriving, where now it's not, really, they all closed.
It wasn't one of those, it's kind of like the mall up here in South Georgia.
Exactly.
It was really funny when we moved here because I was used to Aventura Mall. And I got up here in the closest mall. It didn't have, it had a Sears and a JCPenney and a Belk, and that was it. We didn't even have a Toys R Us here.
Oh, wow.
But I'll give him your number, and I'll see if, I'll go over and talk to him as soon as I finish lunch.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much. And what was your first name?
Thank you. I'm sorry?
What was your first name? I'm sorry.
April.
April. Okay, thank you so much, April. Have a wonderful day.
You too, Lisa.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.
I see was the same as Denis Bubb did, so we was running together that night.
And now you were a truck driver for Publix, correct?
Right.
And what do you remember if you were...
Doubles.
You did? Okay. Do you remember if you were headed... Because I know the Turnpike doesn't necessarily run north and south, but it connects Florida's north and south. Do you remember what direction you were headed?
I believe we were headed north. But God, it's been so long ago.
That's fine. Were you on the same side of the highway as the van you saw, do you know?
Yes. We were following each other up to Yeehaw Junction.
Okay. And so...
We had two trailers each. And that's we couldn't pull them anyways else. We had to run the turnpike.
Oh, so you had a double trailer.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that actually, so if you did see somebody, because back in 1981, Dennis was telling me that your company's policy was to help stranded motorists on the side of the road, because back then we didn't have cell phones.
Yeah, well, I bet I change at least 3 tires a day out there.
Oh, wow. Now, when you had
Always stop it. Pardon me?
when you had a tandem or the double trailer, were you able to stop for motors?
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah.
Okay. So on that night when you were driving, you were behind Dennis?
Yes.
Okay. So if you want to just tell me what you remember about that. So you got a call from him on the CB?
Right. Basically, when I went to, all I seen was there was a guy standing outside of the van with looked like a 3-gallon bucket, a well bucket. I thought he was just putting water in his van, but then I got to thinking, you don't put water in the van from the inside, you got to do it from the outside.
Oh, because he was the hood of the van up when he had the bucket?
Yes, he was standing there. I could see in through the windshield, and he was standing there with the sliding door open, and he had a bucket in his hand. So I thought he was putting water in the motor, but the vans, you got to put water in the motor from the front. It's got a little hood out on the front of the vehicle to put water in it.
And was that hood open, or you don't know, or do you remember?
No, it wasn't open. That's where I thought he done put the water in it and was putting the bucket back in it or something, you know?
Got it. Do you remember did you see what the guy looked like at all?
No, I sure didn't. I couldn't tell what he looked like, because it was just like just a few seconds when you went by him, you know, because we were running about 55.
Right.
That's what we was running, because that's all our trucks would do.
But you saw the car that he was driving?
It was a bluish van. I believe it was a Chevy. Like I say, it's been so long, but I can't swear to it.
Right.
It looked like a blue Chevy van.
And do you remember if you saw a ladder on it or anything like that?
No, I don't. I can't remember that.
Okay. But then after you saw the van, did you, how long after that was it until you heard about the head being found?
Well, after I seen the van and everything, I think it was the next day they were all kinds of cops up through there on the side of the road looking over in the fields and the canals and stuff. So, I mean, they was up there for 2 or 3 days looking like that, you know, looking along that way. And then all of a sudden, then they said they found his head over in the canal or something, close to the canal or something.
And did you call the police?
Yes, we called them that night. We called Hollywood Police that night. Well, Dennis did, and then they called me, and I told them what I saw.
And when you told them it was a blue van, did they dismiss it, or did they? Do you remember what they said to you once you said it was a blue van?
No, they just said, "Well, we thank you for calling," and that's all they said.
And that was the only time you ever heard from anyone? Did anyone ever call you back in like 1990 or 2000 or anything, or any time after that?
I never heard no more from it until the guy that wrote the book.
Right.
And he called me. Called me and Denis Bubb both.
Wow. Okay. Well, to me, that's what's important, is that you didn't get witnesses, but you weren't, when they did close it in 2008, they never followed up with you.
When you're out there, you're driving truck, and because you got to notice everything out there, because you got to be on your toes, because you don't know who's going to come up behind you and hit you, or somebody cut you off or anything, and you got two 45-foot trailers out there, and they're loaded with 40,000 pounds each. I mean, you can't stop them on a dime, so you got to notice everything in front of you and behind you and beside of you.
Right. So you're always paying attention. So you're more of you're paying attention to everything. So when you see something, you see it for more of a distance than up close, and you're paying attention to it, right? I mean,
right? Yeah.
When you were passing the van on the night in August, when it was the van that you saw the man with the bucket, would you have been able to pull over, or was there a reason that neither of you did pull over? Because I know that normally you would.
No, I asked Dennis, I said, you think we ought to pull over and see what's the matter? He said, no, he said, I think he's getting ready to leave now, so that's the reason why we just kept going.
Right. So at the
there's certain areas you couldn't get a tractor and trailer off the side of the road without I'm afraid that somebody come down there and hit you.
Right. And I don't think it was an easy spot for you to pull over necessarily, and you wouldn't have pulled over. He didn't look like he was in distress necessarily, right?
Right.
Okay. Well, I appreciate your time. Thank you very much.
Alrighty. If you have any more questions, well, feel free to call me.
I appreciate it.